Hey YouTubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything, the channel that likes to try anything so you don't have to. Basically what we're going to have a look at today is we're going to have a look at the Super Nintendo Mini Classic system, or Nintendo Classic Mini as it's written on the box. We're going to have a look at unboxing it and see what you get in the box, setting it up, how easy it is or how hard it is, but it's pretty easy to be honest. There's a spoiler for you there. And also what we think about it and just show you just a little bit of gameplay. Now, just to warn you, we haven't actually got a screen capture device for our screen that we're going to look at it on here. So we're just going to point the camera at the screen and just have a look and see what you think, really. So we hope you're going to like the review, and please write any comments that you may have. And if you do like what you see, then pop a like on the old video and subscribe when you get a chance. Right, as you can see here, here's the box with the actual system in. It's based around the actual 90s system, which was a Super Nintendo. That kind of passed us by at We Try Anything because we had what would be an Amiga and a PlayStation 1. So we didn't really kind of have this sort of system to play with at home when I was, well, when we was growing up, as it were. So it's something that we thought we'd get just to put A, for on the channel, and B, for the children to play and for us to play, just to reminisce about the kind of games of old, really, that don't rely on graphics, don't rely on, you know, like subscriptions and all this sort of thing, but just rely on kind of gameplay and the fun elements of having like a game to just enjoy, really. So what we're going to do, we're going to just quickly open it and see what and see what's in there. Just quickly show you on the back. You can see the games that you do get installed in this system, which is 20 games plus the extra game, which is the Star Fox 2 here, the successor to obviously the quite acclaimed Star Fox. You do get the likes of Mario World, Donkey Kong, F-Zero, Zelda, Ghosts and Goblins, Mario Kart, and all sorts, really. Star Fox, obviously, and you know, Street Fighter Turbo, which was a popular game in the 90s. And for the money, if you kind of worked it out, I mean, we paid at the time of Christmas, we paid £50 for this system, and I'll be honest with you, we did get it really cheap, because now I believe these are kind of, because they're discontinued now, they are kind of starting to shoot up really in value. So it's something that we're going to keep hold on to, just for just, you know, a bit of fun and just a bit of innocent gameplay, really, with the children and just ourselves. Okay, well, as promised, we're going to open the box, and it has been opened before, so you won't see any of the nice kind of, just shows there, you won't see any of the kind of nice cellophane and it being nicely wrapped, but just to show you the actual device, how it was packaged, or how we've repackaged it, as it were. So as you can see here, there's the actual unit itself, which is quite cute in a way, in the way it looks. It's obviously about a proportion of the original system. I mean, these are kind of just, these aren't moving or anything, nor is this. The only elements that actually do move on this system is the power button, which is up and down, the reset button, and if I can get my finger in under there, this area here where you put the actual joypads. They've obviously put that there, you know, the original kind of joypad connectors, just to, you know, hark back to the system that was in the 90s. Looking on the back, you've got the HDMI connector there. And also you've got a mini USB connector here. Underneath you got your kind of rubber pad base, and as I say, at the front, you know, you've got your vents for any heat dissipation, and you know, in all, it's nicely made, it's sturdy. You know, it's a great little thing, really. Putting that aside, underneath that you've got the actual HDMI leads that you get with it, just here. Also, you get the micro USB cable just here. The one thing I will say is you don't get a USB power connector in the box, so just be aware of that when if you are in the, you know, you've got the opportunity of purchasing this system, because I mean, in the modern home nowadays, you do tend to have a lot of USB connectors and the like. So I mean, I could probably, you know, I mean, we've got one which we're going to plug into just on the wall there, which is something we've reviewed in the past anyway. I mean, it proves that we use them. But moving on, you've got the joypads here, which are very reminiscent of the 90s version of the console. The only thing we will say through using it is these joypads, the actual lead on them, while it looks long here, if you have a TV that you're connecting it to, or a HDMI enabled TV that you are connecting it to in the living room, you will find that the cable on these is not massively long. We kind of remedied the issue by getting a longer HDMI cable and a longer micro USB cable, but it's not the most elegant of solutions, but it's just something you need to be aware of. But as you can see, it's well made, and you know, very reminiscent of the original Super Nintendo system pads, or sorry, joypads as they're known. You know, it's well made, it's nice, it's sturdy, very nice plastics, and you know, it's not kind of your, it's very much obviously Nintendo. As well as the other joypad which you get in here, you obviously got the instruction manual, and that's really it. That's all you get in the box. As I say, just be aware that you don't get any kind of USB power adapter. So obviously you can find loads online in Amazon and all sorts. Also, your TV, most modern TVs have a USB connector around the back, so you will be able to kind of power this via your TV. So it's well worth kind of just looking into. Right, what we're going to do is just quickly show you how to set it up and turn it on. Right then, first things first, let's get the cables, the associated cables. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the micro USB cable here. We're going to plug it in the back, as you can see here. And that's the front. Hang on, just pop that into the micro. Always get it the wrong way around first time. Right, the next part we're going to plug in is the actual HDMI lead. Now, I have this lead set up for my computer anyhow, so it's the way it's set up, you won't see the actual lead going into the monitor. But what it'll give you an idea is that it just connects in via there and then through the back of the monitor that you can see just over here. And what I'll do is I'll just position it just sitting nicely, and then you can just see how it kind of works when I turn it on. Now, connecting the joypads is quite easy. As I said, you just pull it out from just behind there, and then what you do, you get your joypad here, and you just easily plug it in there and got it right first time. And then literally all you got to do is, if I just zoom in a touch, you just pop the power button on by pushing it forward, and there you go. Hey presto, the actual unit is on. Right then, I'm just going to power on the monitor, as you can see there. I'm just going to fire up that, which is just, as I say, it's just easily done. And then, hey presto, as long as I've done everything correctly, it should come on. What you can see here is the actual main screen of the SNES Mini unit. And, I mean, obviously you're going to have to forgive my sound, because it is coming through the monitor speakers, which aren't really designed for, you know, good audio and stuff. And as I say, I'm really sorry I haven't actually got a kind of screen capture. But anyhow, kicking off, I mean, as you can see, the menu it's pretty easily manipulated. You just go left and right for this, obviously up and across there. So the user interaction is pretty easy. And to kind of start a game, you just literally, well, let's try Super Ghouls and Ghosts here. So you just literally press start, and then you're off really. And as you can see, what you get is your Super Ghouls and Ghosts here. Let me just get past this part just to speed things up a little and get the game going. I'm sorry about the reflection of the screen, as I say. When I get a bit more funds, I'll start investing in screen capture. But as you can see, the actual Ghouls and Ghosts here, I'll just get past it. You know, there's the map there, it's showing. And let's just wait for it to fire up, and there you are, you're off. Now, obviously, it's the usual SNES, it's one very hard game. You know, it's all the controls that the SNES was used to if you're used to the SNES, let me just turn it down a touch. The SNES, if you're used to the SNES, you'll be well at home here. Me personally, as I say, I had an Amiga at the time, and I didn't really use the SNES, but see, I'm pretty bad at it. But you know, it's a lot of fun really. To get onto the next game, you just press reset, and that'll take you back. Zoom you out there, and that'll take you back to the main title screen. And as you can see, if you want to save your save point there, you just press down on the D-pad, and that'll take you to a suspend point list. You can change the actual look of the games really, which is quite interesting. You can change so it's pixel perfect, so as it was in the 90s on the not so well the TVs, which were a different aspect ratio to what we're used to today. So you can click on that, say, let me just go back to that. So you can click on Pixel Perfect, and then you can choose a frame if you want to for your gaming. I mean, I don't really bother with that, to be honest. Play just back to as it was. Now, sorry, I'm so used to my Xbox, it's just hard getting back to. You do have other options as well. You do have where you can just have classic demos, burn-in reduction and stuff, so it's kind of like I'm guessing a bit of a screensaver, but we don't really, you know, leave it on that long in between games, paused or anything, just to, you know, give you an idea. But you do get a load of games with this. So as I say, you get 20 plus the extra one, which is Star Fox 2. So you get Street Fighter 2, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is super hard. Contra the Alien Wars, Castlevania, which is a classic, Donkey Kong, which is done by Rare. I mean, I'll quickly show you that game, because in the 90s, this was kind of revolutionary really, and the actual graphics were so good, and it was something that just really stood out from everything else. Plus the gameplay was just immense. I mean, nowadays, and especially now I've got it on the aspect ratio of today's aspect ratios that you see with monitors. I mean, I'll just quickly get through all this. But the actual graphics, because of the way they've done the actual rendering of the characters and the sprites that you can see here, it just stood out. Let me just, you know, the graphics, it's just class. And there's your friend, Diddy Kong. And you're just going to make up the words Kong, I believe. I mean, anyone can correct me at the bottom, please do. But, you know, in this day and age, I mean, it is, okay, it's not 3D unbelievable graphics, but the gameplay is straight off. You just, you know, it's a great platforming game. And, well, I'm pretty useless at this one as well. But the gameplay is, you know, it's just amazing. It's just very Nintendo. But going back to the screen, you've got Earthbound, F-Zero, Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Course, Star Fox 2, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, Zelda, Yoshi's Island, Final Fantasy 3, Secret of Mana, Mega Man X, sorry my eyesight, and obviously going back to Street Fighter Turbo. What I would say with this kind of system is, while some people do have complained about the actual games not being not constant classics that were around in the 90s, and I can't comment on that because, as I say, I'm not really a kind of a Nintendo SNES person, not in the 90s now, well I am now, but games like these, as I say, I mean, the real testament of this unit here, which is off to the right, the real testament of that was we took it to a friend's house New Year's Eve, and there was kids, our friend's children were there, and basically what we did, we brought it with us, and they did have planned kind of a board game and stuff like that, because they haven't really introduced their children to any kind of console games, and we brought it with us with our kids and their kids, and as I say, it was New Year's Eve, and we just put it on, and I tell you what, just watching the kids alone playing these sort of games that were out in the 90s, they were just in their element, and for the 5 hours we were at our friend's house having fun New Year's Eve, it was just something that it kind of blew me away, that something like this unit, which, you know, it was very big in the 90s, and nowadays you got your Fortnites and your kind of Apex Legends, all these 3D super complex games which rely on subscriptions, which rely on internet and connection and stuff like that. You got something as simple and innocent as this that would kind of keep people or children who are you know, obviously they get bored, you know, at the turn of a, you know, get bored within just like a goldfish, really got kind of goldfish attention spans. They absolutely loved it, and as I say, 5 hours of them just messing about with the TV at our friend's house. For me, this system here was just unreal. And if you're ever thinking about getting a system like this and you've got children, I wouldn't hesitate. I really wouldn't hesitate. And you got, you know, it's worth every penny. Plus I know some of the games, a lot of Nintendo purists wouldn't really kind of agree that are the best on here. And again, I'm no Nintendo purist, so I'm not too sure, but the games here are innocent games, and except for maybe, you know, Street Fighter, which has a bit of violence, but it's not in the kind of violence that you would see in games today, especially with the likes of Fortnite, Apex Legends, just to name a few. But they're just classic 90s games, and if you're retro minded, you would love this. If you got kids, you would love this, and I love this. And the beauty is as well is when you kind of pick up the unit and you see how portable it is and how big it is in comparison. Say, I mean, this is a 24-inch screen, how big it is. This thing you can just chuck into a backpack, as long as you've got your USB connector there, sorry, USB wire, a USB adapter and a HDMI lead. In theory, you could take it to hotels, you could take it to on holiday, even if you were clever enough, pop it in your car with its screen and let them, you know, let your kids play. And I gotta say, I just think this unit here is phenomenal. So obviously it gets the thumbs up from We Try Anything. I hope you liked what we've written or what we've said about this unit. It's not going to give you the full-on kind of breakdown about what this unit entails or what's in the unit and if it's an emulated unit or anything like that. We haven't really gone that far into it, but I've got to say, for what we paid and the fun, just watching the kids on New Year's Eve, just loving every minute of it, and it made them parents buy one anyhow, and they wouldn't dream of letting their kids play consoles. I gotta say, it's just worth that alone, really. Just seeing that fun and enjoyment in your children that you experienced in the 90s. Well, we hope you like what you've seen here on We Try Anything, and if you liked, there will be more reviews coming soon. If you like what you see, click the thumbs up, the like button. Also, just tap on the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more videos coming soon. Goodbye.